A firefighter arrives to save a life. Water valves turn and pumps kick on. So when you turn the tap, clean water flows. Storm clouds gather, and emergency management teams are ready to respond. Crews rise with the sun to care for local parks and green spaces, where community comes to life. These are the quiet guarantees of Florida's counties. The things that just work, because counties make them work. When Washington breaks down and Tallahassee overreaches, it's easy to forget how much our counties deliver. Because counties don't run on gridlock. We run on grit. Fire and EMS don't stop for politics. Parks don't get preserved by press conference. And your drinking water, it doesn't care about the next election. Counties make it happen. With balanced budgets and low taxes. The real Florida dream. Quiet work, done well, every single day. That's the power of local. The backbone of life in Florida's 67 counties. Because here, when it matters most, counties deliver.
Far and Away Mobile Pet Grooming provides professional grooming services right outside your home. Their state-of-the-art mobile grooming salon won't disturb your neighbors with loud noises or smelly fumes, providing a less stressful grooming experience with no more contact with other pets and their germs. With nearly 50 years combined professional grooming experience, Village's residents Eric and Sharon McFarland bring their expertise and full line of competitively priced services to your home. Big dogs or small, they do them all. I trust them with my Sully and Lily, and you can trust them with yours. Far and Away, they're the best mobile groomer in the Villages. Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Gold Wingnut Live. I'm your host, Don Wiley, and today we'll talk about the things you want to talk about. I'll answer your questions. We already have a couple of, it looks like we got one already on the screen, so we'll start with it. It says, "Hi, Don. Was wondering what they are building on 301 just north of the Turnpike on the west side." Okay, so that is, I believe it's called Horizon. It's a shopping plaza. Don't know what's going in, haven't seen anything. So we'll play it by ear, and as soon as I do see something, I'll let everybody know. Let's see. You can't drink all day. Says who? No. Hi, Don, regarding cart crash on Megason near Watermelon, Franklin. Is there a reason no carts on multimodal path in Leesburg, Lake County? Folks want carts off Megason, but think it's not allowed. So the cart paths are on Megason, south of the gate at Southern Oaks golf course, because it's not a 4-lane road. If it's a 2-lane road and it's 35 or less, they're going to have carts on it. That's all there is to it. The paths, the multimodal paths, are now reserved for bicycles, walkers, things like that. Somebody shared with me an interesting observation. The bollards that they put in there. If there's one bollard on the cart path, then it's safe for golf carts. If there's 2 bollards blocking the path, then it's bicycles and foot traffic only, no golf carts. Let's see. Hi, Don. Sharon and I thought of you last night while pounding down our scoops of Zanzibar chocolate at Darlin Sweet Shop. Yes, it is. If you are a chocoholic, it is a chocoholic's dream, the Zanzibar chocolate. I just realized. Oh my gosh, I got the background turned on for some reason. I don't know why. There it goes. That's better. You guys don't want to see my mess. Let's see. Wow, we got another one here from Trevor. Good afternoon, Don. Can you please explain how the tee times work at the championship courses? I understand the point system for executive courses, but the championship courses use the same point system, but there's also another variable thrown in there. And if you have a priority membership, in other words, you've paid the extra fee for priority membership, then your reservation comes first, unless you have a guest who is or there's someone in your foursome or threesome or twosome that is not a priority member. In that case, it goes back to the normal pool. So you can't, throw a ringer in there and have 3 non-priority people and 1 priority and get in the pick for priority. Other than that, it works pretty much the same way, trying to get everybody in. There's some good write-ups on it on Golf the Villages. That's the name of the website, golfthevillages.com. They explain how the tee time system works. You can always just call them too and ask them, and they'll be more than happy to explain it to you. You get more points if you fail to show up, or you cancel a reservation. It's 1 point if you get if you golf, 2 points if you cancel your reservation, and 3 points you get awarded for the week if you don't show up at all. Let's see. Boy. Dino the Toy Expert. Okay, that's an interesting name. Why are there so few fruit trees in the villages? Why didn't the village plant more fruit trees in their yards? That's easy. Have you ever had a fruit tree in your yard? You end up with, all this wasted fruit because it falls off the trees. I mean, I've seen it at people's houses. Before I moved to the villages, we had a neighbor who had, I think it was a tangerine tree. And when they were in season, there was always tangerines all over her yard. And it actually brought in rats and mice and that. So it's probably best that there's a limited number of fruit trees. I mean, obviously, if you're a huge grapefruit fan or a huge orange fan and you want to grow one of those trees, you're more than welcome to. There's nothing stopping you. I know multiple people that have lemon and lime trees, but having the big fruit trees, it's a mess. Let's see. Hi, Don. Any idea what's going in the strip center under construction on 44, just west of the UF? Oh, that's just another strip mall. It's an extension of the one there that's already there next to the Verizon store. There used to be, there's a 24-hour walk-in clinic or whatever you want to call it at one end. At the other end, they're just enlarging the strip mall. That's really all it is. Just more strip mall. Let's see. Don wants to know, Don. Looking at it should be in looking at the footprint of Eastport. Is it larger or smaller, about the same as Brownwood and Lake Sumter, especially if you exclude the rec center and sales office? I think there's less retail space, okay? And when you look at Brownwood and Lake Sumter Landing, they have relatively long roads. Lake Sumter Landing comes to mind especially, going out towards Morse Boulevard. There's that long road with all the going out towards where the new Aldi's used to be, Winn-Dixie is at. That looks like about the same as Eastport Drive. And then there's some smaller shops off to the side adjacent to the, what do they call that? The sales office. So you've got that, but it does look like Lake Sumter Landing and Brownwood have more commercial, but from an entertainment aspect, I think the venue for entertainment in Eastport is going to be significantly larger than the other two, just because the ability to block off the street and expand the pedestrian traffic, if you will, or the foot traffic, into the street without having to worry about getting run over or parking or anything like that. It's going to be a huge advantage. Plus you got Sunset Island, the whole area. It's actually quite large. Um, uh, let's see. John wants to know, will the future Sumter County redistricting affect the village as much? Just saw that in the paper. No, it's not going to affect it. Okay. Um, what that's about really is trying to keep our districts balanced. The area where Middleton is and all that was all in Commissioner Bogue's district. Um, and it it had already out when the districts were drawn, his district was intentionally drawn light to account for that population, the population growth that we expected to see. Well, that's already been exceeded. So the goal in this was to rebalance the districts, get them back equal in number. By law, we have to, when we district, we have to keep them within 5% of within 5% of each other, or I guess it's within 5% of the average. So that's all it was doing. Your county commissioners, each of them represent every one of you. Okay, so I represent not just folks, around 466, between 466 and 44, but people in Bushnell or down in Middleton or whatever, even though they're not in my districts, because we're elected at large. We just have to reside in one of those districts. It's a silly rule when we're representing at large, but better to represent at large than have the individual districts that has proven, or excuse me, the individual representation that has proven in the past to be leading to, what's the word, cronyism? Hey, you vote for this and I'll vote for yours, and we'll get all the money down in our district and not yours. Now we got all the commissioners are responsible for all the residents. Let's see. Wow. Okay. Charleston says, "Good afternoon, my goodness, it's going off the top here. Would you care to share what you know about the non-villages commercial development on 470 and the Turnpike? 470 of the Turnpike. So I know that right there on the corner of 470 and the Turnpike, there is supposed to be a non-villages development. It's supposed to be apartments and commercial. It has stagnated for 2 years, 3 years, something like that. So I really haven't seen anything on it. So the reduced number of businesses will be paying for the entertainment. Yeah, the businesses will be paying for the entertainment. You know, obviously there's still a lot to come. It's not known what's going on what would that be? The northeast corner. So there's a section that's going to be between the LaGrange Neighborhood Recreation Center, Postal Station, and where the boathouse is. No idea what's going in there. Could be more commercial. That'll help offset it as well. So we'll see. So Patrick says, do you think it's a problem at Eastport that the baseball fields don't have netting for the protection of golf carts and cart from home runs? I can see it. I mean, there are a couple of folks that play softballs that really can crush the ball. It's not a major problem, but I think it will be. It is something that may need to be addressed. Agree, Eastport looking smaller. I guess Middleton looks a lot like a lot of business availability. Yeah, Middleton. I saw a map, and I'm gonna be including it in video number 158. I'm working on it now. I'm going through Middleton, and I'm going to show you an overview and close-ups of all the businesses that are going in and where they're going in, and it's quite a bit. But there's like 11 different eating establishments planned for there in Middleton, eating or food establishments. So that's a good thing. And of course, there's a grocery store. But let's see. All right, here we go. Chris says, is it true they are making 39 apartments in Spanish Springs above the stores? If so, what buildings? Um, my understanding is, yes, they are putting in apartments. I don't know the exact number, but it's the ones on the main road coming in from 27441. So I know there's a Mexican restaurant right there next to the Sharon. So that road going up that goes past the sales office, it's above those. That's where the Daily Sun office used to be, and some other offices. 39 seems a bit much, but really, I mean, 39 apartments in the grand scheme of things is nothing. Really, it really is nothing. Oh, Jim wants to know, will District 16 be in Wildwood? Yes, District 16 is in Wildwood. District 16 is the area on the east side of Bexley Trail as you're going south, and you pass through it on Central Parkway. After you get past Eastport, what's on the left and right that's under construction, that's CDD 16. The only one that's not going to be, I don't know what the number's going to be, let's call it 18 or whatever, is in the old Secret Promise property. I did a video about that about a year and a half ago about Secret Promise. That property is in Lake County, so that will probably be that will definitely be a different CDD, just because of the way CDDs are. They have to be within a county or a city. But yeah, pretty much everything though, all the way up through about 24, 25, 26, however many there's going to be, are going to be in Wildwood. Will the Eastport Fitness Center cost additional fee? I don't know. Chris, normally they do. If they have a fitness center, then in all the other regional rec centers that have them, it is an additional cost. Yeah. Any idea when the Aldi's and Sumter Landing will be opening? Within the next 2 weeks, if I remember. There was something in the newspaper about it this morning. Yeah, let's see. Happy Go Lucky says there has been a future site of church sign on Megason Road near Levi Boza Village for over 3 years. When will it be built? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I've spoken to the folks that are involved with it, offered to take pictures of it during construction for them, but it has been quite a while. But you'll see them out there. They're the ones cutting the grass in that open field to take care of things. So yeah, it's probably going to happen, and you know, when, who knows? You know, with the churches, I know I can't remember the name of the church. I apologize, but Church of the Springs, just south of the high school. I have some friends and that are involved with the church there, and they're taking their time because they want to make sure their finances are correct. I don't blame them for not wanting to go in debt. I don't blame them whatsoever. Chris says July 10th for Aldi, August 6th for Costco. I've also heard July 7th for Hooters. What else was I? I heard another date too. I don't remember. But yeah, so August 6th, July 10th, and July 7th for, like I said, for Hooters. I'm looking forward to chicken wings. All right. And Target's the other one with an opening date. It's sometime in August. So, you know, in August we're going to have Costco and Target opening. So That's a good thing. Yeah, I think I saw the date, but I don't remember what it was. Uh, yep. So Happy Go Lucky posted the same comment twice. Uh, there has been a sign saying, oh, he took out the sign. Okay, he added the sign saying, yeah. Excuse me. Love my coffee. Ah, get rid of this. So yeah, if you
Sumter County Sheriff.
oh,
All users. Traffic alerts 478/CR765E Webster.
no, traffic jam in Webster. Okay. Let's see. Is there is there going to be a grocery store in Eastport still? Patrick, as far as I know, yes. Um, some good resources, though, that I've spoken to in the last week have confirmed it's not going to be Publix in Eastport. So I put that out several months ago. I was wrong. Um, we'll see what happens. There's one scheduled for Eastport and there's one scheduled for Middleton. So I think that's going to be a great thing. Personally, I'd love to see a fresh market. Because even when I lived in Hillsborough, I'm here at the apartment right now. It's just as far. But going up to Fresh Market, it was always a pain, and their meats are awesome there. I can't say enough good about their meats. We absolutely love them. Wow. So you saw the ad that's put out by the Florida Association of Counties. That's where I was this past week. If you read any of the news, you saw that I wasn't at the county commission meeting on Tuesday. That's because I had a meeting. I had two meetings I had to be at on Tuesday afternoon down in Orlando, and I was down in Orlando until Friday morning for the Florida Association of Counties, a bunch of workshops and discussion sessions with all 67 counties here in the state. Obviously, one of the big issues on the table is the property tax issue and the desire to get rid of the county property tax. Uh, I will tell you this: if you think that's going to cost you less, you're mistaken. They got to get the money from someplace to pay for the services. Uh, you know, there's a short quiz that they put out. I can put that up today. We can go through it. It's very interesting. But basically, the money's got to come from someplace. So either it's going to come out of your property tax, or you're going to put sales tax or some other tax on you. You're going to pay it no matter what. Um, the real eye opener statement was that uh, who do you trust making the financial decisions for you? Washington, Tallahassee, or Sumter County? Think of it this way. Uh, in For your county property taxes, you have a direct voice to the 5 people that make those decisions. You come to the county commission meetings, you can express your opinion, you call them, you email them, they will respond to you. Okay. If everything gets transferred to Tallahassee, which is what would happen if they get rid of our county property tax, because they got to figure out how to fund this stuff. Then now you got one person, your representative for District 52, and that's in the House, and then in the Senate you've got one representative for District 11, and you're gonna have to rely on them for your needs. Nah, sorry, I ain't buying it. I ain't buying it. Happy goes lucky. So, what is the proposed plan for Sumter County to come up with funding sources if the real estate taxes go away? I am a stickler for the actual details, which seem to be lacking. You know what, Happy Go Lucky? There's a reason they're lacking, because Tallahassee hadn't told us anything yet. The governor signed some funding, some legislature last week. They have until, I believe it's the 1st of November, to come up with their proposed um, alternatives to the county property tax issue. I'm interested to seeing too, again, if you take it out of the county's hands, you're going to have to put it into Tallahassee's hands because they're the ones who are going to be providing the funding for it. Most of our property taxes go to state mandated unfunded mandates. Okay, unfunded or underfunded mandates. They might give you 25 cents on the dollar for whatever process you got to provide. The biggest one of those mandates is the county sheriff's office. County sheriff's office takes up 60% of our county property tax collected. 60%. If they get rid of the property tax, how do we fund that? I don't know. So this has all the counties in the state concerned and worried. We're trying to figure it out. We have nothing. We're getting nothing out of Tallahassee, and it's very frustrating for all of us. Patrina says, I would love to see a fresh market in Eastport or Middleton. We need more organic whole foods. Okay. Muskie says it's going to cost us way more if they get rid of the property tax, and services and infrastructure is going to suffer. It's going to hurt the poorest people the most. You're absolutely right. If they put it on that property tax burden and they transfer it to sales tax, you got snowbirds. They're not here 6 months out of the year. They're not spending money, so we'd get no sales tax from them. But they do pay property tax. Same thing with big businesses and that. They don't pay. They don't. They're not buying things to incur sales tax to be collected. So yeah, there's a lot of ways it's going to hurt. Let's see. Linda, he says, please people, why would you cap the bond and stop property taxes? There's no way to get off for free. The alternative may bite you in the rear, right? Linda, I couldn't have said it better. We are definitely waiting and watching on this one because it is a huge concern. Yeah. Rick says, oh, Harry and the Natives announced August opening on their Facebook page. I saw that one too. That was the other one I saw. So lots of things opening up in the next 2 months. And that's, none of that's really Eastport or Middleton. So lots of good things happening. I'll be following up on pretty much all of these in 158. I got a lot of content I want to put into 158. I'm just trying to make sure I can get it all in and figure out what I'm going to have to cut. All right. Oh, wow. We have been going like crazy. Let's see. Uh-oh, we got another one here. Well, okay, there it is. Ian says, Don, seniors who have lived in their home for a long time have big property tax discounts considering homestead rules. Changing this would be the equivalent of a large tax increase for them. You're absolutely right. It would be. The other thing is, I've seen several posts and things on social media about property tax for no property tax for senior citizens. Guess what, folks? In Sumter County, that would destroy us because 80% of our property tax comes out of the villages. So if you get rid of that property tax source, yeah, it would destroy Sumter County in that respect. The whole concept of, well, I've paid for my house, I shouldn't have to pay for more. You're still getting services every single day. Even if you don't use them, they're there. Prime example, you dial 911, Doesn't matter what time there's somebody there to answer it. Somebody's going to respond. You're going to get a police officer. You're going to get a fire truck out to your house, whatever. Uh, if you don't want to pay property tax, if you think that you shouldn't have to pay property tax, then maybe you don't get those services. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. Okay, property tax is by far the fairest way we have of funding our resources here in our county. Oh, Muskie, I think you hit the nail right on the head. No property tax vote pandering. It's just like the student loan forgiveness. Yeah. Um, I didn't have any student loans. So why should I now have to pay for these kids that went to school and, got their degree in basket weavings, or I don't know, whatever, some of these hokey degrees. They spent all this money partying and yes, I understand tuition's expensive, but it is very possible, and it's done frequently, of going through college paying as you go, either through grants or endowments, um, working. What a concept. Maybe you can't go through in 4 years. Maybe it takes you 5. Uh, I tell you what, I'd rather take 5 years, go through college, and come out with no debt than to have a $300,000 student loan debt hanging over my neck for the next 30 years. It's crazy. Um, okay. I'm not sure on that one. And anything going on with Sonny's Barbecue used to be in Sumter County. Have not heard at all on Sonny's. It's a shame. Used to go to Sonny's. I liked it. I don't know what happened with it there. Greg says, if a house is destroyed by fire, sinkhole or weather, do you have to rebuild with a village's model, or can you use a contractor to build any house that the ARC approves? I honestly, Greg, I don't know that. It doesn't happen very often. I mean, obviously, there are a few cases where it has happened. And I know ARC has to approve it, but I don't know about the builder. That would be one I would call the district office and ask the question of, because that's one I really don't know. All right. All right. Let's see. Frank, hey, how you doing, Frank? Good to hear from you again. Frank is another. I'm sure this is the right Frank. He's an instructor at the Enrichment Academy. Teaches about dreams. Great guy. Been a good friend of mine for several years. Muskie says, if elder poor people are at risk of losing their home due to falling behind on their property taxes, there are other ways to help them out during out than doing away with property taxes. You're right. And if you're homesteaded, the county cannot foreclose on your home if you're homesteaded. So there you go. Let's see. Hi, Don. Do you know if anything will be going in at the end of Chandler Drive on 470? It's zoned for commercial. What's going in there? Have not heard. It's not one. Yeah. Who knows? I mean, I think what we'll see in the next year or so, after they get done widening 470 through Lake County, is that's when I think we'll start seeing the development down there. Until then, I don't think so, just because it's just too much of a mess. Happy Go Lucky wants to know, why did the developer decide to stop separating multimodal paths next to Megason Road when they got to Lake County and put the multimodal path on the road instead? There was enough room for it. That's pretty much the way it's done on most of the major 2-lane arteries. And it's not just Lake County. It's really from the time you get past Sawgrass Grove on Megason. That it's along Megason the entire way, because it's 2 lanes. Hillsborough Trail is that way. canal streets that way. Um, they're all over, Odell Circle, uh, all these, I don't know, are they arterials or feeders? But all the two-lane roads, the major two-lane roads are like that. So it's not something that's just recently happened. That's what they've been doing. What has improved though is that they have put the additional multimodal path, okay, for walkers and bicyclists and unicyclists or whatever. That is relatively new since they moved south of 466A. No, 44. Yeah, 44. They started doing that, those separate paths. So, again, this is pretty consistent with what's been happening. All right. All right. Let's see. Dino, the toy expert, says, I bought a new house from the Villages with T&D pool. Rear yard has a rear fence. Plat requires 7.5-foot off fence. When I go to measure, the pool is only 6 feet from the fence. Should I be concerned? Pool or the pool deck? Okay, there's a difference. If it is the physical pool, I would be concerned. But if it's the pool deck, I would not. But that was obviously approved during the platting and building process, so it's not something I would be overly concerned about. Folks, let's take a quick break. I'll be right back. Far and Away Mobile Pet Grooming provides professional grooming services right outside your home. Their state-of-the-art mobile grooming salon won't disturb your neighbors with loud noises or smelly fumes, providing a less stressful grooming experience with no more contact with other pets and their germs. With nearly 50 years combined professional grooming experience, Villages residents Eric and Sharon McFarland bring their expertise and full line of competitively priced services to your home. Big dogs or small, they do them all. I trust them with my Sully and Lily, and you can trust them with yours. Far and Away, they're the best mobile groomer in the Villages. I love watching that commercial. I get to see my dogs. That's my Sully there at the end. He's quite the handful. He's not a handful. He's a joy. He really is a joy. Best thing that's really happened to us in several years. Just a little background. We decided to get him about 2 weeks after our son passed away 3 years ago. We had just lost our son, and within the 12 months prior to that, we had also lost 2 other golden retrievers, and we were down to 1. And we decided we needed a little more joy in our lives because we were going in a bad spot after losing our son, and he helped bring us out of that bad spot, and so he's a joy. Of course, now my wife is always on Facebook and she's watching these videos with golden retriever puppies, and man, who doesn't love a golden retriever puppy, I guess. I would not be upset if we got a third golden retriever, but probably need my head examined with that one. All right, so anybody else got any questions? So there's no call-ins today. The reason for that is I left my soundboard down at the house. I had set up for some other work, and I forgot the soundboard, so I was fortunate at the apartment. I had one of my DJI microphone systems. This little thing right here. It's pretty cool. Open it up and there's 2 wireless mics, and this one probably will kick on. It's just like this one here, and there's a little box that plugs into the USB-C port, and hey, we get good sound, and it's been working great. So I'm not going to complain. It actually simplified the setup, but I still liked having the soundboard. I got to remember to bring it back to the apartment. All right, any other questions? Let's see, any plans to add a right turn lane on Morris between the traffic circle and Route 44 to turn west? Edward, I don't know yet. There is a traffic study in progress right now. They've been doing traffic counts for the last couple of weeks. I've seen the trucks out there doing the counts, and we're going to see what they come back with. These are experts in this particular field, and yes, they know that it is not snowbird season, and they know that the traffic counts do not accurately reflect peak traffic, and they have correction factors for that. We just went through the same discussion a couple of weeks ago with the County Road 101 and 103, 102 and 104, 102 and 104, and their traffic counts. So that is taken into account. You know, but will there be a right turn lane? I hope so. And you know, if they do come back with that particular option, we'll definitely look at it. But until then, you know, we got to wait and see what comes back. You know, we got the traffic study back concerning the entrance to Chitty Chatty. And boy, they're talking about discontent. Boy, you go and talk to the villagers, there's a bunch of people unhappy about that decision. There's not enough traffic coming out of Chitty Chatty and Sandalwood to justify a traffic light. And $4 million, three or $4 million to build a traffic circle. Honestly, we can't justify it, not for that small amount of traffic, and that would actually slow traffic down, impede traffic in that area. So, you know, the turn, what do they call it? Directional turns, where they only allow certain ways, is the safest alternative. I know people don't like having to do a U-turn. Just that's the best way to do it at this point. Any more news on the development on Marsh Bend and 48? No. By 48, no. Nothing new on that. Still looking, can't find anything, but we're going to keep our eyes open on that one. What hospital would you recommend for cancer treatment or for heart issues? Seems like there's nothing close by that would not be a long drive to visit with loved ones, visit your loved ones if you wanted to visit them daily. I don't have an answer on that. You know, I know that up at Shands a few years ago, they opened up a new cardiovascular neuroscience hospital. So, you know, cardiovascular obviously is heart. Neuroscience, they deal a lot with brain tumors and things like that. I know that because I was involved for 4 years in the building of it. Okay, sorry, I just got distracted by one of the messages on the board here. Anyway, but I honestly, I don't know. That's again, that's one of those things, until you need it, you really don't go looking for it. And I've been lucky, you know, obviously, losing our son to a brain tumor would not be lucky. He did a lot of time up at Shands at that cardiovascular neuroscience hospital, but no, I don't know. Any plans on doing a video of Lacey's coming up? Megan, I don't know what you're talking about. Sorry. Linda says, will 101 and Wedgwood get a traffic light when Costco opens? No, not planned for it. Most popular dog is now a golden retriever. Amazing, someone I know has golden retrievers. Actually, I think the French Bulldog is now the most popular breed in America, which I don't understand. Yeah, I got a friend who's got a French Bulldog. He always looks top heavy. I mean, you know, you give him a little tap on his rear end, he falls over on his face. But anyway, yeah, there's really not much. I don't know. Yeah, Frank says, I know someone with golden retrievers. Yeah, I wonder who that could be. Trevor wants to know any tricks for how to guess what lots will be released next. Is it safe to assume lots newly depicted on the TV map in North Edenfield? So let's shift over to that. We've got to find the right button here. There it is. And we're going to go to, all right, we'll zoom back out. That's the ones that they just released. So what he's talking about is these right here. And that would be a pretty good guess. You know, they released these, I think, was it last week? Yeah, this past week. And then, of course, they released a whole bunch of these courtyard villas up here. So, yeah. But this would be definitely the next area that we'll be seeing coming out, because there's really down here. I mean, there's some patio villas down here. Ooh, zoom in, and you can see those. And actually, 245, 243, 235. You know, for a 2.2, that's pretty dang cheap. Of course, you're going to be right there on Central Parkway. Yeah, I guess if you're used to a lot of traffic noise, it probably won't bother you. But all right, let's go back up here. Yeah, I don't think there's, yeah. Oh yeah, they just, I think they've released these recently too. Yeah, here's some more veranda homes. These have dare I say it, a power line view? Yeah, because this is the power lines going through here. Yeah, obviously there's a nice walking trail in there, and of course they got a big retention pond. But yeah, so that's what we're looking at. That would be my best guess right now. This, from here, obviously they're gonna continue all the way through getting all this done. Then it will be, this is the village of LaGrange and Lakeview. This will take us through probably the end of the calendar year. What I was talking about earlier about not knowing what's going in is this area right here where I'm circling. That's the postal center there for LaGrange. Let's zoom in a little bit. There we go. What's going in here? I don't know. I have been looking and looking for the last couple of weeks, and I can't find anything on what's going in there, but we'll keep an eye on it. Oh, let's see. Let's go back. I gotta find the right. I'm working with two monitors here, so it's like the mouse goes from one to the other. There we go. Let's see. Any tricks on? Okay, we talked about that one. Fred of FMK told my husband that there will be 4 anchor restaurants, lakefront, and 4 or 5 other restaurants throughout. You know what? If Fred Kermerpour says that, man, I'd take that one to the bank. Fred is the owner of all 14 or 15 FMK restaurants here in the villages. Great man, super generous. I mean, he really gives to the charities. He gives to the high school and the other charter schools. Really a very nice, very humble person. I'm fortunate to call him a friend. But if he's saying, it looks like 8 or 9 restaurants throughout, probably I would take that one to the bank. Okay, so Lakeview, okay. Frank wants to know, are there any frozen yogurt stands in the villages taste better than ice cream? A lady who had a family ice cream stand told me that that there is no added sugar in yogurt. I'm assuming it's N-O, not K-N-O, added sugar in yogurt. You know what? I'm an ice cream kind of guy, Frank. I'm sorry. I love ice cream, especially chocolate ice cream. You know that. So I don't really go looking for frozen yogurt. I've had it a few times. Honestly, I couldn't tell the difference. I really couldn't tell the difference between the frozen yogurt and ice cream. Let's see. Go Buck 827. So this is relating to the recent strikes over in the Middle East on Iraq. He says, I did not realize Ohio class would carry so many tomahawks from a fellow bubblehead. So Go Buck 827. 8 of the original 4 Ohio class submarines, the Ohio, the Florida, the Georgia, and the Michigan, were converted quite a few years ago to SSGNs. They removed the submarine launched ballistic missiles, all 24 of them. They converted 4 of the tubes into storage and a sealed delivery uh, area. So they carry 2 platoons of Navy SEALs on board. There's a dry deck shelter on top, and then the other 20 missile tubes on those 4 SSGNs is what they're called now. Each hold 7 Tomahawk cruise missiles, so 140 cruise missiles. This is not the guy you want parked off your coast, because they can rain down a lot of fury. All right. Yeah, I was actually, my last ship was the USS Kentucky. It was an Ohio class. It was the 737, and a great ship, loved it. I did, what, 5.5 years? Yeah, a little, almost 6 years on her before retiring. Let's see, Frank says dwarf trees. I heard that about rats. So snowbirds shouldn't plant fruit trees. Any more Winn-Dixies, or are they now something else? All right, so yeah, fruit trees and rats are definitely, they go hand in hand. And as far as Winn-Dixies, they're keeping the one open right now in Pinellas Plaza, but the one at Lake Sumter Landing was converted to an Aldi and is scheduled for opening here in about 2 weeks. But I don't think there are going to be any more Winn-Dixies. Let's see. Park roaming with Robbie. Would there be any reason why they wouldn't have an entrance pole at Well Point off Marsh Bend? Contractors speed through dangerous with carts crossing. Don't have an entrance pole. I'm assuming you mean a gate, okay? The entrance gate right there at, what is it? That's, yeah, Marsh Bend Trail, and, oh, what the heck is the name of that road? I have a bad memory on some of these things. Let me see. I'm going to go back over to the map. McNeil, that's it. Yeah, the reason that there is no gate right there is because of all the construction traffic. Once the construction traffic starts slowing down, then they're going to put the lift gates up. But right now, that's the main entrance for the construction traffic. I believe at the other end, down by the bridge, they have the gates. The problem with the gates is with the construction traffic, there's a high propensity for them being hit and broken. So they don't even bother putting them up. But they'll come eventually. Give it another 6 months. Thank you, Lisa McNeil. I know I had to look at the other screen and pull up that map. I was looking at McNeil. Anyway, what else you got for questions, folks? Man. Pardon me, I'll have some more coffee while I'm waiting. So, of course, there is still more talk about wanting to put a cap on amenity fees, and it's like, as long as we can put a cap on your Social Security check, sure, why not? But of course, you can't put a cap on the costs because everything goes up. All right, Greg says, with all of the people, pets, playgrounds, walking paths, dragon bus pavilion section, will Central Lake be kept alligator free? I wouldn't bet on it. I would not bet on it. Those the alligators come at their own free will, and they're going to get in there. I mean, Look, if there's water in Florida, you can assume there's going to be an alligator in there sooner or later. Um, Obviously, if there is a nuisance gator, then they'll be removed. Yeah. Wow, I just noticed we got 185 people on. It must be raining out. I know right before the broadcast started, I mean, I was like, oh boy, I got to turn up the microphone because the sound was so loud from the rain outside my apartment. It was like I got a tree next to the window in my bedroom here, and man, when the rain hit it, it was just like slamming the tree up against the window. It's like, okay, this is not going to be fun. But yeah, gates missing. Okay. But no, I don't think uh, if an alligator shows up and he becomes a nuisance, then yes, he will probably be removed. But you know, if he's not a nuisance, they're going to leave him be. Uh, they help keep the critters at bay. All right, let's see. All right. Park Roaming with Robbie says, we have a limestone water issue on our street. Who takes care of the streets? A limestone water issue on our street. Who takes care of the streets? It seems to be going back and forth from the villages to Wildwood. Limestone water issue. I'm assuming that you're talking about you've got water seepage coming up from underneath the road. If it's naturally occurring, it's probably going to be Wildwood. They own the streets. You know, the villages builds them. They provide a 2-year warranty on them. But if it's not a warranty issue, then it's a Wildwood City issue. They don't, when those streets are deeded over to the city, then the city owns them and it's their responsibility. But it doesn't cost them anything for those streets. You get to pay for it. I get to pay for it. That's what our bond pays for, is putting into the streets and the drainage systems and things like that. But the maintenance for those roads belongs to the city of Wildwood in that area. Scott says they should install temporary speed bumps until they can put up the gates in areas where they're doing construction. I agree, some fly through the open gates. I agree, they do fly through it, but there is no appetite whatsoever for putting in speed bumps because we've dealt with this. I mean, I've been here 11 years. I was on PWAC for Project White Advisory Committee and the CDD 10 board for 7 of those years. 7.5 years, yeah. Before I stepped down after being appointed as a county commissioner by the governor. But speed bumps were always a topic. And you have people say we need them, and you have just as many people saying, no, we don't need them, they hurt my back, it's too rough, you know, in the car. The speed bump issue has been contentious for as long as I've known, and nobody really wants to go through that particular argument again. It's pretty much that simple. So we got another comment coming in. There's always a lag between, there we go. There's a slight lag between, I have 2 windows here. I'm seeing what you're seeing, and I got another window that pops up about 10 seconds ahead of time, so it catches my eye. Let's see. Closing on home August 18th. Due to medical issues with daughter, we will not get there until the end of September. Should I worry about it sitting empty for 6 weeks? No, I wouldn't worry about it sitting empty, but I would make sure you get somebody to come in and inspect it during that first week. You definitely want that to get done. Get a professional inspector. I'm going to recommend Tom over at Surf to Turf. His ad's right there on the screen. He does a great job. He did my house. I trust him. He's a great guy. He does really a great service. But get that done. But as far as sitting empty, no, it's not something I would be worried about. Let's see. Any news of property at the corner of Megacin and Warm Springs next to new hospital? No, haven't heard anything. Uh, ju- oh, sorry, I just saw Joe's comment. Just call me Joe from Joseph Solomia. Okay. Um, let's see. What else do we got here? So yeah, Megacin Warm Springs. Sorry, I'm reading all over the screen here. Question from Terry above. Any idea what restaurant going into Woodlands Golf Course? No, I have no idea. I have no idea what's going in there. Um, you know, Boosters is actually owned by the developer. Um, many of the other restaurants are either owned by FMK or Suleiman Brothers. There's a couple other minor players in the game also, but I don't know who's going in there. My understanding is it's a relatively small restaurant also. So, smaller restaurant, it's tougher to make a profit. Okay, you gotta do volume to make a profit. Um, any word on the construction timing for the church by Monarch Grove? So you're talking about the new Catholic church. I have no idea. I have not heard anything. Um, I got some friends that are a little more knowledgeable in it than I am. Um, I'll probably reach out to them, see what they can tell me, try and figure out, what I do know is that they asked the developer for golf cart accessibility and they were denied. Uh, I mean, I'm trying to think of the right words to say here. Uh, I understand why they wouldn't do that, especially with commercial property. But this isn't commercial property. This is a church. Okay. Of course, the pitfall becomes okay. So you give it to the church, and then next to the church comes in commercial property. Now that commercial property by default gets golf cart accessibility, and that could be a problem. They are very protective of their merchants. They take real good care of their merchants. They're paying extra for that golf cart accessibility, and they want to protect their interest. That's why Aldi and Publix and Lowe's and all those don't have and will never get golf cart accessibility, because you've got restaurants and businesses on the other side of the road that are paying for that golf cart accessibility. The developer's not going to give away golf cart accessibility to somebody else. If they were leasing from the villages, then they'd probably get golf cart accessibility somehow, but they're not, so they don't. Wow, where are we at on time? Look at this, it's already 4 o'clock. And we've got 183 people. Man, that is really awesome. We've got that many folks on here. Oh, and the thunderstorms are starting again. Not a huge fan of thunderstorms. I've had several people ask me about lightning protection. And, I'll tell you what I know about lightning protection. When I worked construction, my primary focus was security. Did a lot of exterior cameras, and I had security directors always ask me, well, we need lightning protection on there so we don't lose our cameras if they take a lightning strike. There is not a thing that mankind has done or can invent that will stop your home or your equipment from being destroyed by a direct lightning hit. Just no way. Best thing we could do for cameras was keep it from coming into the building, and we did that by using fiber optic cable because that didn't pass electrical current. But we also made sure that there was no copper wire whatsoever in those same conduits going out to the parking lots. But lightning protection on your house, it can help mitigate if you do take a direct strike. What are the odds on getting a direct strike? I don't know. What are the odds of getting struck by lightning? You know, that expression. But if you do take a hit and you do have lightning suppression, then it's going to shunt the energy to ground and spare most of your house. If your neighbor takes a lightning hit, you're probably going to lose a lot of electrical equipment also, just because it's going to, just the sheer amount of energy being released when it comes in contact with the house. Just a huge pulse of high energy. It's going to take out everything. Let's see. How many years after they build Eastport will it take to start the new regional recreation center? That's a good question. So I believe and I covered this half a dozen videos ago. I put out a map. Someplace down south of the new fire station, I believe there's going to be another regional recreation center. So, you know, we're probably talking 2 years before they start on it. So crash. Okay. Don, don't understand about golf cart accessibility at Wedgwood Lane. For instance, has it up 466. There is golf cart accessibility to Wedgwood Lane. There are 2 tunnels, I believe, going under 466. And there's another one going under Buena Vista that can get you into that area. But anyway. Linda says, do you have a warming plate for your coffee? Cold coffee, yuck. Right there. And let me see if I can put it down. Come on. It's set at 170 degrees. Yes, I keep it on a warmer. I always, yeah, I guess, what's it been now? I started working construction back in 99. And when I spent about half my day at a desk doing engineering work. The other half was in the field. And whenever I was at my desk, I always had a coffee cup warmer, and I always had it on with coffee in it. Mark Ryan says, what is your opinion on the surge protector offered by Seco that attaches to the house meter? So right now, if you have a new house, it is required by Florida statute that you have surge suppression installed, whole house surge suppression. If you're, you know, in cheapers, what is it? Basically, anything that was built after January 1st of last year has to have it. You'll find that surge suppression in the outside panel of your house. Not on the inside breaker box. There's an outside panel in the house. That's where that surge suppressor is. What Seco is offering, my understanding is you can buy for $200 at, Home Depot and Lowe's. And it costs next to nothing to install. You can do that, and it's cheaper. I think they want $595 or whatever, and another $500 for install. It's ridiculously expensive. Now, if you take a hit, I don't know if they have any kind of coverage for what gets taken out, but I will tell you that my experience with most insurance policies is they will do anything they can and try and find any excuse not to pay. So, you know, you lose a $3,000 television, their insurance company, if they're providing any kind of coverage, is the first thing you're going to do is, well, was it installed properly? Did you do this? Did you do that? They're going to look for any excuse not to pay. So would I get it? No, sorry. And honestly, after this whole fiasco with the light poles from Seco, I don't trust them. I don't trust them at all. Okay. So if non-villages businesses up on Wedgwood Lane have golf cart access, wondering why the Catholic Church wouldn't have golf cart access then. So all those businesses up on Wedgwood Lane are on villages property or on property that was purchased from the villages. You know, there's some housing developments. They can't stop that. They're on the periphery. But they don't give them direct access. You know, Catholic Church, you know, again, it's a church. And I'm not gonna, I don't agree with their stance, but I do kind of see the domino effect that it could have for something building next to it. All right. The village's chief. Hey, chief, how's it going? Hi, Don. The southwest gate entrance to Moultrie Creek near Boosters comes up automatically without automatically without having to use your gate pass to open it. It's a real convenience. Maybe it's a prototype. No, actually, that's called construction mode. And that will continue like that for not much longer because they're pretty much out of construction in this area or in that area for now. So it will probably go back to using a card reader. The fact that the one coming up on Marsh Bend Trail is no longer in construction mode. That's, you know, nature of the beast. I'm not sure why one is and one isn't. Maybe they forgot. But it's not a prototype. I mean, that's called construction mode. When I moved in 11 years ago, the gate on Hillsborough was in construction mode. So Buena Vista and Hillsborough Trail, you know, now there's a guard shack. There's a guard shack there and a gatehouse and the gates, but they opened automatically. And then one day they stopped. And it's like, okay. Fortunately, I came prepared. What I do is I have, you know, if you've ever worked in an office where you had to have an ID card for the card reader in the doors, and they had that little springy thing, little string that would retract it automatically. I have one of those attached to the turn signal lever in my car, and hanging off the end of that is my Prox card for the gates. And it works great. I hang it out. When I'm done, I just let it go. It goes back in the car and out of the way. But no, it's just, again, it's construction mode. It will probably go away now that we've talked about it. Somebody's, you know, we've got almost 200 people on the broadcast right now. Wow. So, which reminds me. But anyway, back to that. My guess is it might just go away pretty soon because, again, a lot of people watch the broadcast, and I'm surprised at some of the people that I talk to on a day-to-day basis that do watch it. So, coming up, July 20th is what I'm planning for. I'm going to be doing the broadcast not from my studio in the apartment and not from my studio in Moultrie Creek, but at one of the regional recreation or one of the recreation centers. I don't know which one yet. I'm trying to line up some guests. It's going to be a 2-hour show instead of a 1 hour. We'll have a few refreshments there. We're going to be talking, the plan is to be talking about taxes, property taxes, because they're coming up this month. We're going to, you know, we're going to see all the budgets come out this month. And I'm working to get some knowledgeable people involved in that broadcast. But the other thing we're doing is we're going to be raising money for our firefighters' Thanksgiving dinner. We're going to start. I have for the last 9 years, 10 years, I'm not sure how many it's been now. We started with doing Station 45, Thanksgiving dinner for them. And then about 3 or 4 years ago, we started doing all the fire stations in the villages. I have a station coordinator for each fire station. Thanksgiving Day, We take them a traditional Thanksgiving dinner. People donate food. They make different dishes. It's the hardest part about it is getting the food there, because normally I have the whole back end of my wife's Honda Odyssey filled with food, and I just want to pull over and eat it all because it smells so good. But no, we're going to be trying to raise money. I've been doing the villages, and a few years ago, Commissioner Bogue, he started doing the county fire stations. He goes out and he buys Thanksgiving dinner for them and takes them there. So any money that we raise, I've spoken to Commissioner
Sumter
Bogue.
County Sheriff.
Oh,
All
hush.
users. Traffic alert 309 millimeters ice.
Stop it. Stupid thing. I spoke to Commissioner Bogue about this this past week when we were both down in Orlando together. And we're going to take, and any money that we raise, we're going to split to go to the 2 fire departments. For the villages fire department, VPSD, any money that we have left over gets donated to their emergency relief fund. So we'll be collecting money. We'll be looking for people to start signing up as either station coordinators or willing to bring food. So that's going to be a part of what we are doing on the 20th. More details to come in the next week or so. As soon as I get things lined up and I figure out exactly which recreation center we're going to do it at. But that's something to look forward to. Our firefighters in both fire departments do a phenomenal job. They have a very difficult job. They have a job that keeps them away from their family 1 day out of 3 because they work a 24-hour shift. I've done shifts like that where you work 24 hours and basically the next day you're just dead meat and all you want to do is sleep. But hardworking men and women on our 2 fire departments, and they deserve our support. And we're going to be live. We're going to you're more than welcome to come down to the live broadcast, ask your questions there. We'll have a microphone set up and a camera. And I know some people say I don't want to be on camera. I understand that. We'll also take written questions so that the individuals that I have there can answer them. Anyway, let's see. All right, what is Sharon says? Nice show, Don. Looking forward to making making my stuffing for our hardworking firefighters. It was well organized. Thank you. I appreciate that, Sharon. Yeah, as I explained, I always explain to the fire stations, I said, the great thing about this meal is we have folks from all over the country, okay? And everybody's got that special dish that was unique to their part of the country or their mother made and taught them how to make or what have you. And so there's some really phenomenal dishes. And I've seen some pies come out that are like, oh my God. I got a sweet tooth, so it's tough. But pies, different dishes, casseroles, what have you. So they get a bounty of these unique dishes, and they truly enjoy them. They are so appreciative of it. So again, if you can help out, again, more details are coming. But we are at almost 20 minutes after the hour, so we've run long. I want to thank you all for joining me. We will do this again next week. Hopefully, we won't be getting any rain because my gosh, it's raining again outside my apartment. But again, we'll do this again next week. Enjoy life. We are, for most of us, hey, this is the 4th quarter. It's time to enjoy life and make the best of things. And if we happen to get a little overtime in the game, then all the better. Enjoy the fun. John says, no grill tonight? No grill tonight. The wife is cooking. Thanks everyone for joining me. We'll call it a day. I appreciate it. Again, be sure to support my sponsors. They help me make this show possible. Because I'll tell you, I think I make about $20 from YouTube from the ads that they run. So it's not a big money maker, but I'm not doing that for monies. But it always helps to offset those costs because there are quite a few. So thank you all again. Have a great day. I'm out of here. Far and Away Mobile Pet Grooming provides professional grooming services right outside your home. Their state-of-the-art mobile grooming salon won't disturb your neighbors with loud noises or smelly fumes, providing a less stressful grooming experience with no more contact with other pets and their germs. With nearly 50 years combined professional grooming experience, Village's residents Eric and Sharon McFarland bring their expertise and full line of competitively priced services to your home. Big dogs or small, they do them all. I trust them with my Sully and Lily, and you can trust them with yours. Far and Away, they're the best mobile groomer in the Villages.